Hello there. I'm here with
Veronica Kalinis.
Yes, and I'm AJ Mirzad. And we set aside this specific Monday to create a lot of content. And why are we doing that? Well, because it's the way of creating in the moment. And what ends up happening, it was just really interesting when you're in a place where you want to create content, you want to develop creativity, your mind kicks in, self-doubt kicks in. And one thing we want to talk about is really just creating what you want without any limits. So as you're coming on, just give us a thumbs up if you could hear us and see us. Most importantly, let me know where you're watching this from. We are in New York, Long Island to be exact. And I would love for you to share, Veronica, just your thoughts on just the process where you want to do something, but your brain just stops you in your tracks.
Yeah, sometimes I get so excited about creating and getting in a flow state. And then when I'm there, I get there, I somehow stop myself. And there are these voices, this inner dialogue that comes up, or reasons that I totally make up, like, oh, I don't know what to say, or it's not enough, it's not good enough, it's not smart enough, maybe I shouldn't. And just being here, living in the intention that we set, which is creating content and just having fun and being totally self-expressed. You know, like, what would it look like if we just took the cap off and just created instead of living into all these reasons and excuses that we had coming up?
Speaking about having fun, we're standing on a trampoline right now.
And I'm jumping.
Yes. I don't have balance as good as her. I don't want to fall. But the whole presence of life is in a lot of like getting what you want. Because like the title of this, Would You Want to Exist? Don't settle unless you get it. And a lot of it just like not taking things so seriously.
Yes.
Right? Because like a lot of times when we have a specific goal, we're so serious about having that goal. And if we don't have it, it's like, oh my God, I'm not happy. It's like when this happens, then I'll be happy. But it's really just enjoying the process, right? Because anything you want to do, someone has already done it before. So forget about the how, set the intention, and you'll soon find that the right people, opportunities, possibilities come into place to just make that a reality.
And something that I just thought about was AJ and I are somewhat obsessed with success in a way. Like the idea of success and if I have this, then it'll be this way. If I create this, when we create content, we'll have this and we'll have that. And sometimes it's totally okay to just let all of that shit go and just
let it go.
Yes. And just actually live into what it is that you want to do and just have fun with it and not be so serious all the time. And thinking of like all the reasons and excuses that we like just put into every situation.
This is a great point.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to achieve something, right? Let's say you have this big goal in your life, and what ends up happening is it doesn't happen as fast as you want it to. You know, we're starting a new month. You say to yourself, by the end of this month, I have to make this much money for my business. And if you don't hit that goal, how do you react to it? What comes up for you, you know? Because a lot of like getting what you want is wanting what you have, you know? And one thing I've realized the hard way is success is nothing more than appreciating what you currently have now, you know? Because we have this external goal of success, whether it's money, relationships, happiness, how it's got to look. But obviously the secret of life and the secret of happiness is to having that external thing that's your vision, but keeping your focus on the present moment in which you already have now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, totally. That's such a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Just appreciating everything that you have and appreciating and maximizing each moment.
Maximizing each moment. That's what I have in my wrist.
Yeah.
Yes.
I forgot that you have
Yes,
that.
that's my mantra.
Yeah. I know for me, something I do is I help working professionals manage their inner critic. So we're talking about our inner critic today. And
Yes.
This inner dialogue that comes up when we get to this level of success, or we have this idea of what success looks like. Like, I want this, I want to achieve this, this is my intention, this is what I'm gonna do tomorrow. And then life gets in the way, or something comes up. And then we're totally stopped by these reasons that we make up. Like, our reasons and excuses that we make up, by this inner dialogue that comes up, like, you know, whether it's being a people pleaser.
People pleaser.
Whether, being a control freak, being a perfectionist, an overachiever. That inner dialogue, or that voice that tells you, maybe you shouldn't do that video. Maybe you can't come up with that. You shouldn't speak up. You shouldn't make a bold request to your boss. You know, like, all this stuff stops us, and we make all of it up. Like, our reasons are totally not real. Like, we've made all of that stuff up in order to survive.
Story.
In order to survive, in order to defend and protect ourselves, we come up with these reasons of why we can't achieve something, why we can't talk to a person, why we can't go on this date, or have the relationship of our dreams, have the job of our dreams, the career of our dreams. We make all of this stuff up to stop us in fear of success.
And that's a great question, because obviously Veronica is a expert with the inner critic. But, like, if you're in a place where you're trying to do something, all of a sudden this, like, inner voice comes up and says, you can't do this, you're not ready for this, you're not good enough for this, what do you do to quiet it down? That's the question I have for you. When you're facing self-doubt, what strategies do you have? And I'll give you an example. Last year, I set a big goal for myself to do my first night of stand-up comedy. And it was actually last summer, I set the intention. I went on Facebook and I said, I'm doing stand-up comedy by the end of the year. This is my big goal and my big objective. Hold me accountable. So I asked for public accountability. And then a friend of mine who's actually a comedian, she reached out and said, hey, there's an open mic night in October at the Greenwich Village Comedy Club. I'll put you in. And it's crazy, because the moment I got that specific date, October 6, 2017, 7 o'clock, that was my big premiere. It was so crazy how, like, both the creativity started coming to me, but also I started thinking in a funny way. You know what I mean? I started to look at the world like, what's funny about this? What's funny about that? I would have a bad date, and I would think about all the jokes that happened that night, and my mind started to shift. And I realized, like, holy shit, like, prior to taking the action, I had so much fear. Am I going to be funny enough? I'm going to find the material. But I realized how much setting the intention puts forces into play that allows you for things to happen with ease. And to make a long story short, I did the night of stand-up comedy, actually posted it here on Facebook. A bunch of people filmed it live, and it went really well. And the biggest thing that I learned from doing stand-up comedy or facing any fear is, like, just taking that first action step, not thinking about it, setting the intention, having the public accountability, but just showing up. Once you show up, like, it's amazing what happens in that moment.
Yeah, I agree. For me, something I did this year, something that shifted for me this year was I quit my 9-to-5 corporate job, and I went to Costa Rica for a month to get certified as a yoga instructor. And I was literally living in the jungle for a month with no Wi-Fi, no cell service, nothing. And it was
pretty hardcore.
Yeah, it was such an incredible experience. But something that I went there with was, I want to be a yoga teacher. I want to teach, right? And I'm a coach, and that's what I do. And that's what I was doing part-time prior to quitting my 9-to-5 job. But
it's all the love. Look at all the amazing hearts. Yes.
Costa Rica.
Yes.
So
it's very inspiring.
Yeah, and so when I went to Costa Rica, I had this idea. I want to be a yoga instructor. I want to be a teacher, right? And then when I actually started teaching, I actually was on the court teaching yoga every day. It was confronting for me. Like, it was really confronting. Like, I've never seen myself as a teacher, right? I had this idea, like, oh, I can be a yoga teacher. But I actually realized that I had trouble being seen. as a yoga teacher, like that people see me as someone who can teach them something, that someone who can provide a space and give them an experience. I've never seen myself that way. So it was really confronting for me to see myself as a teacher, like just similarly to what you said about seeing yourself as a comedian, right? Like, whoa, am I funny? Do people think I'm funny? Like, okay, is someone getting anything out of what I'm teaching, out of what I'm saying? Is what I'm providing, giving someone value, right? And it really took a lot of deep work and inner work to allow myself to just be a teacher and see myself as a teacher. And now I teach yoga for fun, and I just put myself in those situations too. Like I like teach yoga to my friends, or I teach in Brooklyn, and sometimes I'm nervous to teach, right? Like my inner critic comes up, my inner dialogue comes up, like, oh my God, what if it's a bad class? What if I mess up, right? You shouldn't teach. Maybe you should just avoid and not pick up that class. Don't do it. And I do it anyway. I just make sure I do it anyway to hold myself accountable. Like, okay, come up with a sequence the night before, or come up with a sequence that day. Make sure you do it. Like, you are and telling myself, girl, you are a teacher. Like, you are a teacher. This is what you do. This is who you are, and this is what people want from you. So if you're out there thinking, I don't know, I really want to do this thing, but I don't really think anybody cares about it.
Well, absolutely. I think right now is a great time for that too, because we're literally 6 months left till the end of the year. And I would love for you to set the intention closing out this year. What is one thing that will allow you to step out of your comfort zone? One thing that you've been wanting to do for the longest time, but you've been putting off. And how could you set that intention to make it a reality by the end of the year? We have 6 months left. So we're going to hear your one thing, Veronica. I'll share mine. And this is the time to be publicly accountable. So in the comments, set the intention of doing the one thing that you know is going to improve the quality of your life, but you have not done. What is that?
There's a few things I want to do. But, really, for this year, what I want to do is I want to see workshops by the end of the year. I'm hosting one in LA with my friends before we go to Burning Man in August.
Woo!
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. But I want to host 3 workshops, and I want to teach. I want to teach something of value. I want to be a teacher. And that's what I'm committed to. I'm committed to being on more podcasts, teaching events, teaching workshops.
Yeah, you're a great speaker. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm. That's what I'm intended. That's my intention, and I'm putting it out there so everyone can hold me accountable.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage.
I do that. Yeah.
So Toria, she's my all-star student. She says, I want to publish a book. I'm going to hold you accountable, and we're going to make it happen. Lawrence wants to quit his job and go full-time online to empower police officers and shift workers. Now that's a great niche.
Whoa, that's awesome. That's so needed.
So my big intention is actually like a performance of creativity. As I mentioned, last year my big goal was to do an stand-up comedy. So this year my big goal is to record a rap song. So this is like totally out of my comfort zone, and one thing that I do in my spare time is I freestyle rap, where I just rhyme words for hours and hours on end. And I've always been fascinated by hip-hop artists, like how do they do that? And I found just by practicing freestyling, my speaking has gotten better, my improv. When I just connect with people, I have a rhyme and a cadence when I talk. So for me, I don't have a goal of being a professional musician, but I know the journey of who I become to record that one rap song and put it out publicly is gonna forever change my whole life. So
I met AJ last year in November at a mastermind. At his first mastermind here, right?
Yeah.
And he's been saying that he's going to write a rap album. So You guys have to hold him accountable, and I'm holding him accountable. I'm still waiting to hear this rap album. I want to hear you rap.
I actually recorded a song, and I have to, fine tune it. It's done. It's already done. It's easy stuff.
Right.
6 months I'll refine it, but it's gonna happen.
By when? What's the date?
December 28, 2018, right before New Year's. Yes.
Right before New Year's. So everyone heard that. I heard that. I'm gonna hold him
Woo!
accountable. You guys have to hold him accountable.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna just read some of the intentions. Charles Wilton says, I'm disabled. I'm a pro wheelchair boxer. Wow, I didn't even know that existed. I would love to see a wheelchair boxing match. I'm gonna go YouTube that after this. Most people don't look at me as a boxer. However, on December 26, 2018, I'm in the world wheelchair boxing title. Damn, we got a celebrity here. So that's great.
That's so great.
Charles is gonna be competing in the title, become the champion wheelchair boxer. And actually 2 days after, I'll be releasing my rap song, so we got a lot to look forward to.
You guys should collab.
I'm down for that. And we have Daniel, my all-star student. He wants to write a book on health and fitness, lifestyle strategies, and the processes. Happy to help you do that.
Wow.
So I wrote my first book in 30 days, and the way that I do it, I transcribe it. So one of the reasons why we're creating this video content is to just create through this video interface, then we could transcribe it. What I mean by that is, like, right now Veronica and I have been talking, I don't know how long, we're in a flow state, but this ability just to talk about things and get insights, it just comes out of you. But oftentimes when you're writing, you stop yourself. Your inner critic goes off and says, this is not that good, I don't want to talk about this. But when you create videos or do audio when you're talking, you could create the most content. So that's why, like, for example, today, we're gonna create a ton of videos in a flow state and then transcribe it into text. So it can be used towards a book, a blog post, an email. And that's why videos are great, just because if you have someone who's like-minded, you can just bounce ideas off each other and just flow.
And now that you've said that, I just noticed something. My inner critic totally came up when we were talking, and we wrote a bunch of stuff down. We took a brain dump and we're writing out whatever was on our mind. And my inner critic is a perfectionist, right? So sometimes I just want to get stuff done, and I just want to go and take action and do stuff, and I sort of get lost in forgetting that in order to take action or get into a flow state, you have to create, you have to chill,
wow,
you have to get there, you have to get there and get grounded. You have to just flow and do something like this. Like we just decided to go live, and now going live allows me to
I got so many ideas.
More ideas to now keep creating, rather than getting caught up in what should have been done an hour ago or what should have been done 20 minutes ago.
Yes.
It's just like, okay, chill. You're here, create an intention, and then just let things flow and go with the flow. And life doesn't have to be so freaking serious all the time. So I like that you said that, because that came up for me.
I feel that.
And I want to also write a book this year. So I love that we're talking about books and transcribing content. Yeah, it's so cool and it's so doable.
My student Daniel joined my program, and he's now in a place where he's putting out videos, putting his stuff out there. He just wrote in the comments, I've been more in a flow state over the past few weeks than I have my entire life.
Wow.
And I appreciate that. And kind of we're touching back on this in terms of creating, just like hitting record and just flowing. Just like Veronica says, when you create in a flow state, you become great. So don't wait.
Instead of creating content, we should.
That's what just freestyle off the top of the head.
Rhymers.
Yes. Charles says, my YouTube name is Charles Winton, Wheelchair Boxing. The bigger goal is to help people in the whole world, people get out there, do something with their life. Charles Wilton is a great man. He's a professional wheelchair boxer. He's going for the big title prize to be the champion. And if you want to look him up on YouTube. I didn't even know that was the thing. I didn't even know
That's
that you
so
could
cool.
box someone in a wheelchair, but
We could play
Yeah.
basketball in there, Chef. Like,
yeah.
that is awesome.
Yes.
Anybody else? I want to hear some new intentions.
Yeah,
What
so
are
like
you-
the
what
topic
are you
right now is like,
creating?
what's your big intention
What's your big game?
for the rest of the year? You got 6 months till 2019. What would you like to accomplish? If there's one thing that you could do by the end of 2018 that would make you happy and fulfilled, what would it be? So Daniel touches upon creating content, because one thing I do with my students is I just throw them out there and say, all right, you got to create videos, you got to put stuff there, and whatever. With Daniel is he wrote that it was challenging at first, but it's gotten easier the more I do and keep sharing value. Exactly. Touching upon the reason why we just went live right now, because we were starting to get a bit stuck. We're in this intention of creating a lot of content today, and I said, let's just press play and just go, and give it a shot. That's what I love about live. Like,
Yeah.
you're forced to just be in a flow state.
Yeah, and I mean, I can relate, because before this year, I used to be terrified of going live on Facebook.
Yo, yeah.
Because of all
You
the
came a long
stuff
way.
I told myself. Yeah, that actually in AJ's program, I created my first video, and after I just made
Very
a
well
video,
received. Yeah, it was an awesome video.
I was just super vulnerable and super authentic and real, and that's when I started to become real with other people and just authentically create. That's when I would get more ideas, and I'd be able to, put myself out there more, and it was just easier to create content and just get out of my head and get out of the paper and just get out into the world. So
I love
if
it.
you haven't created a video, or if you haven't shared a vulnerable post, or if there's anything that you've ever wanted to share or do, just do it. Just do it.
Yes.
Just take one action today.
I love that. You've actually inspired me now.
Yeah.
That's actually my closing words. I dare you to do a video in the next 24 hours. And if you do, tag me or Veronica, and we will come up with a special prize for you.
Ooh.
That gift. It'll be
Okay.
a program, a guide,
Yeah.
something. We're going to give you
We're
something.
gonna give
Maybe
you
even a
something.
coaching call. But if you're watching this right now, whether it's a replay, post a video in the next 24 hours, tag me or Veronica, and then we're going to slap in your DM and give you a special gift. So,
You heard the man.
what are your final words to leave them off with?
My final words.
If this is your last live ever, what would you want to tell the world?
Just live your life. Just, if there's anything stopping you from taking an action, getting in the flow, having fun, feeling alive, just take an action and just become unleashed. Take the cap off and
yes,
just live your life and just
feel
do
that.
it. Yeah. So if that's what I want to end the video with. What
Take
about
the
you?
cap off.
Take
Yeah,
the cap
just like,
off. Unleash. Let it go.
Going back into
Have fun.
that's how this video, which one exists. Don't settle until you get it. So you have this ideal vision of a relationship or a career, lifestyle. It's like, you want that. Why settle for anything less? And if you continue adding value, working hard, staying focused, staying in your comfort zone, being around like-minded people that believe in you, that push you to become the best version of yourself, then you will get it 100%.
I'll also say one thing. It's a choice. Choose to live the life you want, or don't choose. And indecision is also a decision.
Wow.
So if you're unsure about, whether you should take that next step, or, do that thing that you've never done before, try something new, take a risk, stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
It's all a choice. And choose. That's
My
all
man
I'm
Todd
saying.
Vance says yes.
Yeah.
He is killing the game. He's developing a career coaching online program. He joined my program last week, and he's been putting out videos and staying out of his comfort zone. So I see you, Todd.
Congrats, Todd.
Yes, and yeah, those are great final words. I feel touched. I'm like, wow, okay. Now it's about taking the cap off. Now it's about growing and putting yourself out there. And like, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know yourself best, right? And a great example is that Veronica and I, we have these great, insightful conversations, and we've been meaning to create content in a mass level. And we just had the idea, okay, great, we're gonna hold each other accountable and do it in the present moment. So we don't get into distractions, we don't go into, like, you know, patterns. And it's like, you essentially know what you need to do, right? A lot of people say they want to write a book, okay? So how can you write a book? You know, like, one thing I do is I have a book writing retreat. You want to come to my house to write a book and chill? We could do that. I lock you in, over 2 days you write a book, publish it, you become an author. That's it. All you gotta do is show up, you know? So I'm always thinking about different ways to get people to take action, because I want to inspire people into action. That's my superpower. But anything you want to do.
And reasons are made up, right? Like, I had plenty of reasons to not come here and not create what I intended to create or do for me and AJ and
you would let me down,
and for other people, right? Like, we have so many reasons to not do something, right? And those are all made up. So despite your reasons and excuses and concerns, just take action and do it, and do what you want.
Exactly. So, cheers to that.
Cheers.
I feel it.
We have so many final words.
Hashtag team never settle.
Yes, love it.
Peace out.
Deuces.